Hello, how are you today? So, yesterday I made some genocidal maniacs really mad. Is that you? Are you a genocidal maniac who's really mad about being called a genocidal maniac? Hmm. Well, you're in the right place if you are. There's almost nothing that somebody who's supporting genocide and enabling genocide can say to me that's gonna justify that. I see these starving children, emaciated and starving, who have had projectiles loaded into their brains, and it ended their life. And you want to justify that. And you want to use the kind of same tired old arguments that I've been hearing for a long time. I started speaking out about being objectified terribly, including physical attacks. And when I started talking about it, that's when I really started to learn the kind of arguments that genocidal maniacs use to justify genocide. Human beings are sometimes we lack creativity, especially if we don't know about arguments and abuse, colonialism, those kinds of things. So, for example, one of the things that, some of you were like, you Palestinian Jews. Oh, you don't even know what to call it. Got you. 64,000 people are dead. And you think that, like, what I'm calling it, people in that area is gonna somehow make the 64,000 people that have been killed and the starving children justified? No. And so you call me an anti-Semite, right? Well, I was for a long time, and when I say that, it wasn't about people that were Jewish. It was about Semitic peoples that were Muslim. Because Arabs are Semitic people. So I think, in a way, you're right. I was. And I'm so sorry that I was that. And that I was part of the problem that led to what's been done to people living between the Levant and, let's say, the Himalayan mountains. Okay? Is that gonna cover it for some of the people that are really mad about that? I don't care. Okay, so after 9/11, my country went batshit, right? We have directly and indirectly killed, and I don't think anybody really knows. So I can't say this is an exact number. I went with something that Brown University came up with, which good enough, So 4.5 million people have been killed between the Levant and the Himalayas after 9/11. That's my country, my tax dollars. People like me not doing enough to say, no, you don't do that. Stop killing all those people, right? And now, I don't know, what is it, 20 some billion dollars in the last 2 years to fund a genocide against people that don't deserve it? This time, I'm making amends. Like speaking out like this, like saying something in online communities about how it's not okay to justify genocide. And calling my representatives, which I have done so many times over the course of this summer, and I'm not done. I call them and I say, I don't want my tax money and my country to be supporting genocide. You cannot support Israel while they're doing that. And just out of curiosity, calling me a Nazi, do you think I'm gonna make less phone calls to my representatives about how I don't want the country of Israel and what half of its population or so who support that to be starving children and then putting projectiles in their brains? One of the people out there said that, they want to get rid of the Muslims, the neighboring Muslims, and the Muslims in Palestine want to get rid of Israel so bad that they don't care how many Muslims get killed to meet that goal. I think Golda Meir said the same thing, and that is victim blaming, saying they're asking for it. It just, I don't know, it gets old. Hearing the same things. There's really no way to justify that genocide over there. Right now, what is it, a couple of months ago, 92% of the housing was gone, bombing hospitals. But okay, I'm a Nazi. All right. So the stereotype about Muslims, and the main one in the United States, 68% of Americans view this as the most, it's the most prevalent negative stereotype about Muslims, and that is that they hold regressive views about women. I get not as bad as arguments from people sometimes when I talk about what was done to me in this country by certain white boys and men. They say, if you don't like it here, you should go to a Muslim country and see how that goes. Not as bad as argument, which means that they use it to say, if it doesn't meet this worst possible standard, then you have no right to complain. You're shallow and petty for not focusing on the worst thing. You want to do something about what's going on over there. It doesn't work. There are still problems here. A lot of them. It's bad. It's getting worse, right? I can't believe that certain people in the Republican Party want to say not as bad as over there, because talking about taking away people's right, women's right to vote, the right to not be forced into pregnancy, to have a say over your own body. They're coming after no-fault divorce, so you can't leave an abuser. They want to make people impoverished so they have to go back to depending on somebody else. No, I'm never going to do that. You'll have to kill me. I'm never going to do that. And I have kids, and I teach them about what's going on, and never going to do that either. All right. So 68% of Americans believe Muslims have a regressive view, a backwards view about women. 76% of Muslim men say, American Muslim men say that they don't discriminate against women. 72% of American Muslim women say that Muslims don't discriminate against women. It's incredible, isn't it? The difference in perception. It's almost a complete 180. Now, the other thing is that Muslim women have the same rate of being subjected to misogynistic abuse and assault that other American women do. So I figure the Muslim men are about the same as the other American men. That's not great for any of us. And it's got to change for all of us. But to use that as an excuse to demonize other people to the point that you're like desensitized about 4.5 million people being killed. A lot of that's about oil, but we tell stories to justify what we're doing. Just like there's stories about how nobody in Israel is going to be safe unless they like kill everybody in the neighborhood. That's not one of them. So we all have to take a good hard look at the stories we're telling in light of the cold hard facts. The cold hard facts are America is responsible for the deaths of 4.5 million people directly and indirectly between 1991 and 2003. And we'll call it the Fertile Crescent and a little to the east this time. That's appalling. I'm so sorry. Well, never again. You know, and the 20 billion, my money that I work for is paying for bombs. Is paying to like make up some bullshit about how the food truck can't get through because it doesn't meet X, Y, and Z criteria that you could never meet because it's a moving the goalpost thing, so people starve, so children are starving. I don't know. Okay. I think that's enough for now. Well, I'll try to read the comments. They'll be in a row. I can look at them here instead of going through this one and this one and this one and filtering through all of that to figure out who said what. But again, so far, I've not been very swayed that I should stop sticking up for people that I discriminated against for so long. I want to do better. I want to not be part of the problem. Do I want bad things to happen to people in Israel? No, I don't want that either. Speaking of the United States, that this country did not take in every single person that was fleeing the Nazis. There's no excuse for that. I don't know. I don't think our country has apologized for that. An apology would never be enough, but it would be something. I don't want to see that happen again. And right now, the coldness, the genocidal, committing genocide is people like me. There's a lot of us now. We are not supportive of what's going on over there. I don't want it to get bad. That's not a threat. I'm just saying you're losing people. You're losing support because of what's going on. There's got to be a better way. Are you smart? Are you not smart? I mean, it's emotion, right? But there's emotional intelligence. All right. Well, bye for now.